So today what I want to do is make the track for a B&M invert, which is kind of similar to Floorless, except we'll have a little bit more of a rounded um, cross tie. And what else? I mean, that's pretty much it. We just have to make it. And then also having this point, making it so it's not make sure the origin is actually by 180 rather than having it straight up and down. It'll be 180. So we're gonna do that, and then also maybe come up with some prefab like track pieces. So we'll have this, give it an array, and then save it as a an asset to have an entire track piece, and then we can make Batman a ride. And I did get a little bit of a head start here. So in the library, these will be our assets. These were the old assets in here, but these a little bit old, so I'm just kind of redoing them. That will actually work for this project. So I did the rails, so I can delete this. And I did the track boxes. So I'm going to get the welds, which are the start and end pieces. I used to have one here, but it works a little bit better when you do have a start and end. And then after that, I think I can attempt to make the block sections with the taller spines. And then after that, we'll do the connection pieces that lead into the block sections, and then we'll be done with this. And then see how much we can get done with the actual modeling of the ride.
Don't stop. Let me explain something. 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 Let me ex
for whatever reason, I cannot open this because I'm trying to copy this, move to unit. Hold on. I can't select which one, and I can't open it from here. I really don't want to build this from scratch either. I mean, it's not that many nodes, but like I've already gone through this. I don't want to waste time doing this. Blender keeps crashing. So I guess there's no way for me to actually copy and paste this. Or what I could do is just do this, and then we can kind of copy and paste the other one. That's annoying. That's very annoying. Right. I'm gonna write this down. Because I already used my brain power once doing this, and I'm not a geometry notes person, so I'm not doing it again. So we've got geometry goes into geometry. We've got unit start, offset. We're not going to worry about display units or calc. Unit length. So unit start, unit length. So in the add, you'll get so and then offset goes here. And then you have combine XYZ. Boom. All right. So I'm losing my mind. I feel like I'm working on the wrong axis, but apparently I'm not. So what I'm gonna do is first stream back is pretty awful. So mirror Y. I also want to try doing this with the mirror modifier, and then if that's not possible, then I'll just bake all this down into a mesh instead of working for the modifier. But I want to see if it'll work with the modifier. So we did all that to make these track sections. From now on, since everything is all set up, it should be a little bit easier. But this would be the first track piece, which is separated by 1.1 meters in between each cross tie. And then of course if I move the unit length, whoops, let me actually grab the right thing. If I move the unit length to 1.4, the cross ties move accordingly. Well, kinda. I guess I should move this number instead to fix the array. So this is gonna fix the length between each cross tie. This one right here is determined by the offset of where it starts. So the default is 1.1 meter because that is the shortest length, or at least for now. I might end up doing a 1 meter. Maybe. I don't know. That probably look weird. So now this is the 10 unit 1.1 meter track. So I'll go ahead and let me move all this outside. And then I'll duplicate this, move it inside of track segments, and then apply everything. No, apply, or I guess I'll convert it to mesh first and join it all together. Then I'll name this standard track 1.1 meter times 10. So I know it's standard track, I know what the unit is and how many cross ties there are, or at least sections, how many units there are. So this is a 10 unit by 1.1 meter. And then I'll keep doing this until I have a good variety. I like to do everything in its own separate blend files, so it's non-destructive when I am working on the actual project. I am not sure what number of this I'll actually need, whether I need to start at 7, whether I need to start at 10, or what have you. But on the last project, it was around 10, 11, 12 for this short of a track. But this is a smaller ride, so I'm going to do 10, 9, 8. And then we'll go from there. Sorry for sniffling. I'm going to actually. Oh look. I'm actually gonna look up some reference to Batman the Ride and count how many cross ties there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this one is. Ugh. I have some as low as 5 and some up to 11 so far. Not a fan. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The good news is on this track it doesn't seem to have a lot of the 1.4 meter spacing. It's a lot of the 1.1 meter spacing. One, two, three, four. Yeah, 4 seems to be the lowest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might have to make 1 meter track. So we. Okay. So I think I'll do the 2 meter. Actually, no. I'll stick to the 1.1 meter and then the 2 meter track, and then we'll figure it out from there. So I'll do 8, 9, 10 for this one. 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'll just do 8, 9, 10 for both of these sizes, and then maybe 8, 9, 10 for the 1.3 meter track, or 3 meter space, 1.3 meter spacing. So 1.2. 8. This is also 8. Once you have the geometry nodes and everything else set up, this becomes really easy. When I was doing this manually for each piece, but then I realized that a lot of the pieces did repeat, and I was just doing this process a lot, so try not to repeat myself too much in my process, because a lot of times it is unnecessary. When you can just have these pre-made, like a prefabbed track piece. I should probably put in a spline here so I can see if it twists along with it, or if I need. Actually, no, it's converted to mesh, so it wouldn't matter anyway. So yes, for the template here, it wouldn't really matter, but when I export these, it's gonna work as expected. So never mind. And then I'll go ahead and do the 1.3s. Start this at 10 and go backwards again. Wait a second. Nine, 10. Okay. Oh yeah, this is a different size track. That makes sense why it's longer. Alright. .3, 1.3. This is unit length 1.3. Now things make a little bit more sense. This is unit 1.3 and 10. Convert to mesh, join. Change the name to 1.3. Change the length. Put it in there. Start at unit 9. Come on. Unit 9. -1 count, -1 count, and -1 count. Duplicate, convert to mesh, join, change the name. Should probably copy this. Makes it a little easier. -1, -1, -1 unit length, start, -1 count. Duplicate. Wrong button. Duplicate, convert to mesh, join, change name. And then put it up there. All this we can delete, because all the templates are still saved under here. These are our templates.
Don't stop.
I haven't done the block yet, but so far these are all of our prefabricated track pieces. I already merged all of the vertices on the 1.1s, so I'm gonna merge all of these by distance, and it'll remove like 100, 40, 60, 80 points. Vertices, I should say. Tab A, M, by distance, tab again. I should probably have this on. Whoops. We're only an hour and a half in. Okay. Another good idea is to make sure that the face orientation is all good, which it is not. And then of course to change that, it's just Shift N. What's happening? Alright, so now we can drop into the actual Batman file. Do not think that I named it Batman. Okay. Oh, before we do that, let's go back. Hopefully Blender doesn't crash on me. Don't save. Alright. Just to change the color. Whoops. Didn't mean to stop that full display. This is not working. Oh, there we go. this is actually, whoops, working or not. It's not really what I wanted. Just want a spray. So I'm going to change the color of the track to not be Talon colored, but to be Batman the Ride colored, which is not far off, but it's kind of weird working with this color scheme. Just waiting for Ace Bright to pop up. It's probably best to not have Ace Bright on Steam because you do have to launch Steam just to launch this lightweight application, but alright. So here I have just 32 pixels lined up in a row. This is how I color everything. Actually, let's do being an invert. Okay. And then here are all my colors. Just because I understand how this file works and how my UVs are set up, these are my track colors. And I'll just have to change these all to around the same color. So I'll start with something like this. That's very saturated. Just make this 1 pixel. What's going on there? I would like it yellow, but also dark yellow, almost orangey color. This looks really bad next to these colors, but I'll go ahead and place those right there. And then I will save as. Let's just name this Batman. So then because it didn't have to be in this file. So when we do get it didn't need to be in that file. Whoops. Blender's gonna crash on me. Alright, so all of these need to be exported as assets. I'm gonna put this in coaster track, BNF invert. Kind of clear these assets. Don't need them. I'm gonna mark these as assets. Unassigned. Alright. Current file. So all of these I'm gonna put into BNF invert. These are gonna be what I need in my project rather than having all of these individual pieces like this, because I don't need all of this, because I can just make each track. So I'll go from a folder looking like that. Well, I'll have the footers and the standard track connectors, which we'll get to, but for now this is what I'm interested in. Save. Alright. So we're going to delete this track. Start with... I have no idea. Let's say for the lift hill 1.3. Also, I like to make these link. So when you go that, wait a second, come on. There we go. So just go straight to the origin. And then what I like to do here is make a new collection. Let's call it track segments. And then another called render. This is where everything is going to go inside. I forgot how I do this. Block 1. Then we'll have a block 2, 3. So we have block 1, block 2 is the whole ride, 3 is right before transfer, and 4 is transfer. Probably don't need to do a different block for like transfer and all that, but whoops. Alright. But I feel like it's a good habit to get into to do that. So if I do make a ride that has a billion blocks, I'll already have this set up rather than kind of. This is not what I want. I wanted this. There we go. Thunder. There we go. Alright, so in block 1, we'll have like block 1, track 1, and then we'll also have like supports as well. And that's going to be our file setup for getting all this there, but what I'm going to do, oops. I'm going to have a templates folder in the track segments. Let me just color this the same as over there. I'm going to place all these linked ones, and then I will Shift D instead of Alt D, and then put it inside of track segments. Alright. So this allows me to kind of do whatever I want with it. And from here, what I'm going to do is change the material. So let me save, and I'll go to my material file, and we'll make another one for this specifically. Whoops. So make a new material. I think my computer's blowing up. Alright, there we go. Well, I'm at Batman. And then for the base color, we're going to give it a image texture, and it's going to be the embers that we just made in Sprite or whatever software. The roughness is 0.2. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. 0.2. Yes, and then it'll be closest instead of linear. Get rid of that, and then you'll see our yellow pop up right here. And then we'll current file, and then we'll say this as an asset, and then move this into materials. This could be a little bit more organized, but this is what we have for now. And then we'll go back to the Batman file. And then on this, we're going to delete all of those. And then materials, grab Batman, drop it on there. So now we have our yellow track. One thing that we don't have here is we need to update this color, and then maybe our like bolts and stuff in the welds to be that color. So what I'm doing is I'm back in Aseprite and I'm just going to update my colors here. And then I'll hop back into invert. And then you can see that this is the UV unwrap, and you can see how I kind of got that color there to give it that two-tone track look. So what I'm going to do is grab all of these circles, just because I know that these are the UVs for like the bolts. And I'll put them around here. And then if I ever need them to go back to that two-tone look, I can always put them back. But what this will do is make it so I can see these bolts here. But for the project that I had with Talon specifically, hold on. So this isn't going to change the template that we have. This is just going to change it for these standard track pieces. So any project that I have going forward will have this going on. Whoops. There is still those. To keep it somewhat organized just in case I do want to change this later. So alright, that looks a little bit better. Should probably make this darker. And save that. And then go back to Batman. And then we'll just have to just delete this. And then with our template that we already have here, you can see that the colors changed. So we're just gonna Control D. Put that over there. And then do the color one more time to Batman. And there we are. What I'm going to do here is Alt D this time, because this is now my reference. This is going to be my reference for this ride. And in here I can put it in block 1, track 1. And this will be block 1, track 1, standard track, yada yada yada. And what we're going to do, since we have, we didn't set all this up. No. Back to the invert file. I always go back and forth a lot as well. So what I didn't set up was the same kind of modifiers on here. So what I need on here is a curve modifier and the geometry node move to unit number. So I'll start with geometry node, then I'll add a deform curve. I can leave this blank. For this one, I'm going to default to the move to unit. Unit length, I'll leave at 1.1 because I do think that that is the most common one. And then, yep, that's working. And then I'm going to copy this to all the selected, copy this to all the selected. So now these should all have the same modifier. What I'm going to do is, for all the 1.1s, leave at 1.1 unit length. Standard, I'm going to change, or for each unit length change, I'm going to change it down here in the modifier so I don't have to when I get to the other file. But when we get to the other file, we're going to have to retexture and all that because I forgot to. Save that. Save that. Back to the file. I'm gonna delete this one last time. I'll leave it there just for the name. Actually, no. Let me take the name. Delete that. Delete that as well. Here. Yep. And it has our modifiers here. Shift D, Alt D. Oops. Give it the name. Change the material to Batman. And then curve Batman spline. This will be the first piece. I don't know how accurate I'm going to be with this today because I'm not sure how the lift is going to go yet. But typically what I do start with are the loops to get the accurate spacing and where the welds are. And then from there I kind of work to the more easy spots. But definitely I want to start with the elements here and give them the accurate weld spacings. Typically on the inversions, so for the 5 inversions on this ride, will probably be where I'll start, and then on the in-betweens we'll just kind of fill in things as it. So it's kind of like puzzle pieces once it is in the troughs and valleys, but then once you get to the elements here, it makes a little bit more sense. And then you'll have things over here, like in these areas, where I know that there's a piece over here that has like 4 or 5 cross ties, but that we'll just go with what makes sense with the supports, and then just kind of connect them all together. And then in moments like these, I'll probably have bigger gaps in between the cross ties, just so I can fit in the elements, like the drive tires and things like that. So for block 1, what I'm going to do is cheat a little bit and add an array modifier just so I can kind of see what's going on here. curve modifier goes on the bottom. I did make it so I can't go to negative numbers, which I probably should not have done. Yeah, I probably should have done that. Alright, so no cheating today. But instead of starting here at the station, this would be the station. What I'm going to do is start on block 2. And I do believe... I'll do the 1.2 units here just because there's not much going on. Once we get to the bottom, I'll do the 1.1s and then keep the 1.1 into the loop. Because... basically I have 8 minutes and I'm trying to do something, but I don't want to... Alright, I'm going to have to just go back and actually make the correct number of cross ties and actually do what I said with starting with the loop. I know it's a lot of back and forth, but whatever. Alright, so we're gonna start with the 1.1. We're gonna grab cross ties, box track 1.1, start in weld. Control D. Well, actually, Alt D. I'm gonna bring these on the outside. Here. Close those up. Hide that. Let me go to reference one more time. I'll grab a loop. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, 4 is the least amount on here. So we have 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, then 6. And I can't see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like. Which we already have. So I'll do a 4 and a 6, and then we'll wing it from there. I do like this to be at least somewhat accurate, but I'm not too terribly concerned about that. Oops. Cross ties. With cross ties, because we do have the start and end, we just kind of move it up 1 unit and then add -1 unit. So this will be R4. Control D. Convert to mesh. Join. Move it in here. Let me steal this name. Times 4. And then down here, we'll do 6. Unit 6. 6. And then because they're cross ties, count 5. Duplicate, convert to mesh, join. Name it that times 6. There we go. I'm just gonna clean that up. Whoops. I'll mark these as assets. Oh man. Current file, unassigned. BNM invert. Boom. Save. So in this file, we're gonna start with the loop. Block 2. Gonna give it anything called block 2. Track question. I don't know yet, but I will eventually get there. in our templates, I'm going to click that folder. Go to track, B&M invert. I'm going to drag the 4 piece in there. Then I will Shift deduplicate, put that into track segments. So this will be our template that we're working off of in this file. And because the reason we do that is so we can change the material on it. And then from there we will Alt D and move that to here. And then no way. I forgot to add the modifiers. I will do that later, but for now we're gonna do this. Add curve, deform curve. Curve is gonna be that. Start unit. We're just gonna pull this until it goes where we want it. And then of course that's when we have our offset here. We want this to be right in the middle. And the width alright. Alright. Gonna move this offset to make this right in the middle. That is going to be the top of our loop there. Notice the offset number, because we're going to have to use that. Basically, for anything with this unit length that is attaching to this piece. Question marks. And then in our templates, I'm going to add the other track. Shift D. Change the material. Alt D. Oops. Gonna duplicate. Oh jeez. But if you use your brain, you don't have to add all these modifiers like I'm doing right now. For the example, it becomes very easy, very streamlined. I probably should have taken note of what that was. So that goes there, and it was like 0.480. There we go. Yep. Ties up. 480. And I'm going to take this, I'm just going to duplicate it for now. Whoops. And that would go there. And that would be the top of our loop, basically complete. And then you have the ties right over here that line up exactly where we need it to line up. And then what we would do is just kind of finish out going this way until we get to the end of the lift, and then finish out going this way until we get to the next element that is already predetermined. But what I'm going to do is clean up this file, and the next time I stream, actually try to get to finalizing the pieces that need to go where. If I do need to make any more pieces that are like, if I need a 7 count, because right now I have a 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 in 1.1. If I need any other cross tie lengths, I'll go ahead and make those off stream. So then when we do get in, we can just kind of get into actually building the thing. Alright, but yeah, that's it. And I'll see you next time. Probably tomorrow.